Hello aspirants, I welcome you all to Current Affairs Analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 7th of May 2025. Now before getting into the list of articles, I have to tell you about All India Mock Test of Shankar IAS Academy. Already one test has been completed and there are two different tests happening on 11th May as well as 18th May. You can even today register through the link given in the description and take up this test to check your preparedness for your preliminary examination. So with this, let us look into the list of articles that we are going to discuss today. In this first article, we'll be discussing about the achievements or distinct findings of Hubble Space Telescope. Second article, we'll be discussing about National Human Rights Commission, basics about it. Third article, we'll be discussing about what is agroforestry and how agroforestry can be combined with coffee cultivation. And in the fourth article, we'll be discussing in detail about cybercrime and what are all the challenges and initiatives taken by government. So without any delay, let us get into the article discussion. Now look at this article that talks about Hubble Space Telescope. Recently it is in news because it has completed 35 years of journey in space. So from Prelims perspective, we have to learn about the basics of this particular telescope. Remember here I have mentioned all the historic background as well as development. It has been developed by different companies and universities, but it got launched only in April 24, 1990. It was launched using Space Shuttle Discovery and it got deployed on the very next day on April 25, 1990. So this particular telescope is said by NASA as a new window on the universe because it has given us a lot of insights about what is happening around the universe. So here this particular telescope, it orbits around the earth every 97 minutes. So it takes 97 minutes to give a full rotation around the earth. So this actually placed in an altitude of approximately 330 miles. So we can tell it as a low earth orbit telescope. Now moving on, let us quickly go through certain important historic observations made by this particular telescope. See, it has observed literally 1.7 million of approximately 55,000 celestial targets, and it is known to capture deep field images and revealing galaxies from even early universes which has the oldest age. For example, it has age of 13 plus billion years ago. So that kind of aged universe has been actually identified by this particular telescope. So using this, the age of the universe has even been identified. Second important thing is it has observed 800 plus Cepheid stars. Here this particular term might be very new for you. Cepheid stars is nothing but a type of pulsating star. So pulsating star is nothing but a star that has the light of that particular star will actually change. The glow actually changes based on the contraction and relaxation of the outer layer of that particular star. So this Cepheid stars from across 24 galaxies has been identified by this particular telescope, and it has even contributed to the discovery of dark energy. For this discovery, it has been given Nobel Prize in Physics in 2010. So 2011. So this is also a very major discovery of this telescope that you have to remember. Apart from this, it has confirmed supermassive black hole in the core of most galaxies. So black holes, I hope everyone knows about black holes. Black holes are like a region in the space where the gravitational pull is so high, even light cannot escape from that particular gravitational pull. So this black holes, it happens only when a massive star goes out of fuel. So only then a black hole will be creating, and this particular telescope has identified a lot of black holes in the core of most of the universes. Now apart from this, it has made a lot of observations I have given here in the table. You can quickly go through it. And another important observation made by this particular telescope is it is the first telescope to measure the exoplanet atmospheres. So exoplanet is nothing but the planets that are away from, that are not within our galaxies. So those kinds of exoplanets atmosphere, even that has been identified, that has been measured by our telescope. It is located 150 light years away. which is also a very significant finding. So based on the discussion, I have framed a prelims question for you. Let me read out the question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Hubble Space Telescope. Two statements have been given. First statement says it is the first telescope to measure exoplanet atmosphere. Second statement says it contributed to the discovery of cosmic nebular metallicity energy, which earned the 2011 Nobel Prize in Astrophysics. So here the correct answer for this particular question is option A, one only. Second statement is actually incorrect. It has earned the Nobel Prize but not for identifying the cosmic nebular metallicity energy. Instead, it has been awarded for the discovery of dark energy. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. This article talks about NHRC. NHRC can be expanded as National Human Rights Commission. So NHRC has taken up a particular case. In that particular case, it has issued a notice to the Telangana government over death of 3 workers in explosion at explosive plants. So from this, we have to learn about the basics about NHRC, even though the article is not very relevant to the examination. So let us start with what is this NHRC is about. See, NHRC, it was established on 12th October 1993, and it is actually a statutory body which has been established under Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So its headquarters, it is in New Delhi. Now moving on, talking about the powers and functions of NHRC. See, the basic thing about NHRC is to investigate human rights violation. So this human rights violation, if there is any particular case, the NHRC can take up the case by itself through suo motu, or it can take the complaint on an issue on a complaint. The second important thing is it reviews the legal safeguards as well as recommends reforms when it comes to human rights violation. Thirdly, it advises on implementation of international human rights instruments. This is a very important thing. So there is international guidelines or protocols for human rights violation, preventing it. So based on that only, we have framed ours also. So we are actually aligned with the international vision of human rights, protecting human rights violation. Third important thing is it promotes research in human rights. Fifthly, it inspects prisons and detention centers in order to reduce or in order to detect the presence of human rights violation. And finally, it will conduct awareness as well as education campaigns to disseminate the information about human rights, what kind of right a human possesses, and what are the legal remedies for any kind of human rights violation. Now moving on, talking about the composition of this particular body. So it has a chairperson. The chairperson is usually a former CJI or Supreme Court judge. So the members include one former Supreme Court judge, one former Chief Justice of High Court, three human rights expert. Among these 3 people, at least one should be women. So here they have given, they have brought in inclusivity by reserving a seat for women. And finally, there will be ex officio members, which includes head of various national commissions. Now moving on, talking about the appointment. The members are actually appointed by President on the recommendation of a committee. Here the committee members has been mentioned. The committee members involve Prime Minister. He will be the chairperson of that particular committee, and the committee will include Speaker of Lok Sabha, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, then Leader of Opposition, both in Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, as well as Union Home Minister. So these are the committee members who will be choosing the member as well as chairperson when it comes to NHRC. Now, based on the things we have discussed, I have framed a prelims question for you. Let me read out the question. Here 2 statements have been given. First statement says it is a constitutional body. Is it a constitutional body? No, it is actually a statutory body. So the first statement is actually incorrect. Second statement says it works under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. No, it comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. So here what is the correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. This article talks about coffee agroforest. So recently a study has been conducted by Nature Conservation Foundation. So this particular study has showed that coffee farm in Karnataka can help restore forest and protect biodiversity if properly managed. So this particular research or a study, it has been conducted in Narmada Estate, which is in Chikmagaluru. Now I am giving all the details of the particular study because you can use it even as a case study in your mains, even you can use it in your optional papers. So that is why I am giving all the information. So this particular study, it has been conducted in Narmada Estate, which is in Chikmagaluru. So what the farmer has done is he has planted all the seeds that has been available in order to encourage this agroforestry. We'll see what is this agroforestry in a minute later, but now let's stick to the study. So when the available seeds has been planted, it has been found that it is causing a negative impact on the environment, and the benefits of agroforestry is not properly yield. So the reason for this particular issue has been identified. It has been said that the non-native species, they are causing the harm to the region. So the farmer, he has actually introduced the native species, and he has grown the coffee along with the native species, the new seeds. So this has led to lot of improvement in the production as well as lot of improvement in the biodiversity as a whole itself, and that is why this particular study has made news. So from the prelims perspective, we have to learn about one important thing. What is this agroforestry mean? So agroforestry is nothing but using land for both agriculture as well as forest activities. So this can be done in two different ways. You can even include livestock as well. So when livestock and forestry is happening, we'll be calling it as silvopastoral, and when the trees as well as the crops has been integrated, we'll be calling as silvo-arable. So these are two types of agroforestry. Apart from that, there are different types of agroforestry. So this particular agroforestry, it has number of benefits. For example, it will give clean air. First important thing is it will absorb all the CO2 in the region, and it will give clean air. Secondly, it will improve the soil fertility because the leaves of the tree will be falling in the ground as well, and it will decompose, which will ensure soil moisture as well as and make it fertile. Thirdly, it helps in animal feeding. See, when it comes to animal feeding, we lack animal fodder. We are actually importing a lot of animal fodder. So this issue can be sorted by agroforestry. So these trees can provide fodder for animals. Apart from this, it prevents soil erosion in the region. Tree will provide stability to the soil and reduce soil erosion, and it can be used as firewood as well as building materials. Through this, we can get lot of timber as well as potential income, tangible income, and it will bring in lot of food as well as medicine, give shade as well as fix nitrogen. So the trees can fix nitrogen in the soil, providing more favorable condition for crops. So it will turn on a positive feedback loop. So this is how agroforestry helps in making the biodiversity better. So other important thing from the article that you have to remember is coffee. Coffee, it will be asked in UPSC preliminary examination. So we have to learn about the conditions about it. It has even been mentioned in NCRTs. So the optimum temperature is 15 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. The rainfall required is 150 centimeter to 250 centimeter, and the altitude is 600 to 1500 meters. So the required soil type is red loamy, well drained as well as rich in organic matter. It requires partial shade and a two-tier canopy. Now moving on, talking about the coffee growing states. When it comes to India, Karnataka is the highest. So that is why the particular study, it is also happening in the Karnataka. 67% of produce is taken from Karnataka. 21% second is Kerala, third is Tamil Nadu, which is 5%. Now the non-traditional areas, it includes Andhra Pradesh, especially Arak region. Then we have Odisha and some northeastern states, which include Nagaland, Assam, Manipur as well as Meghalaya. So UPSC, they might give you four important states, four different states, and it can ask you to find which of the following states are coffee growing states. So those kinds of questions can be asked, and that is why we have chosen this article. Now based on things we have discussed, I have created a prelims question for you. Let me read out the question. Here, three statements have been given about Coffee Board of India. First statement says it was established under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Second statement says it is responsible for the promotion of coffee export and research activities. Third statement says the coffee board also provides extension services to coffee growers in India. So here the actual correct answer for the question is option B 2131B. First statement is actually incorrect. It comes under Ministry of Commerce. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. This article talks about a defamatory content that has been spread through social media. So this defamatory content, since it has been spread through social media, it is also called as a cyber crime. So based on that, a famous YouTuber has been arrested by Kerala police, and that is what the news is about. So from the mains perspective, you have to learn about what is the definition of cybercrime and what are all the challenges when it comes to cybercrime and what are all the initiatives. So let us see them one by one. So first, let us start with what is the cybercrime. See, cybercrime is actually a unlawful act where a computer or a communication device or a computer network is used to commit or facilitate the commission of a particular crime. So in this case, social media has been used to spread defamatory content. So defamatory content in here, defamatory, it actually means spreading rumors or spreading things that are actually not true. So there are different forms of cyber crimes, as I said. First is cyber stalking. Stalking is nothing but persistently monitoring a person, which is actually causing a fear to that second person. Then there is cyber bullying, where there is insult or any kind of humiliation is happening in the digital platform. Then cyber harassment, where the offensive or threatening behavior is happening online. Then there is identity theft. Identity theft is nowadays happening through a lot of things. So a very good example for identity theft is deep fake. Deep fake is using AI, giving voice modulation and all, and facial features. Here, the person with similar facial features will be used for committing a particular crime. So those kinds of things happen when it comes to identity theft. It is also a cyber crime. Then there is privacy breach, unauthorized access or sharing of personal data. Then there is voyeurism. Voyeurism is secret recording of private act or images. Then there is a revenge porn, which is nothing but non-consensual sharing of intimate images or videos. So these are all certain forms of cybercrimes. Now moving on, let us see about certain initiatives of Government of India to curtail these kinds of cybercrimes. Firstly, we have CCPWC's scheme, which is cybercrime prevention as well as training labs. Secondly, there are cyber forensic labs. 33 labs has been established in different regions for coordination when it comes to investigation. Then there is awareness campaigns that has been conducted even in a lot of schools as well as colleges. There is cyber Jakarta Divas, and there is digital literacy with with NCRT as well as UGC. Then finally, this is a very important scheme, I4C, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. So India has this. So it is actually National Cybercrime Response Unit, which takes immediate action when it comes to cybercrime. Talking about important judicial cases, there is Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. So this is actually a landmark judgment because Supreme Court has actually struck down Section 66A of IT Act for being vague and violating freedom of speech. So this through this, Supreme Court has given back, or it has safeguarded free expression through online. Apart from that, certain cases has been mentioned. You can use it in your mains answer. For example, state of Tamil Nadu versus Shuhas Katti. This happened in 2004. It is one of the first conviction for cyber harassment in India. So the accused was punished for sending different messages to women through email as well as internet forums. So like that, there are different cases mentioned here. You can use it. So now talking about the challenges when it comes to cybercrime, first thing is we have very low awareness. Many women lack the knowledge of cyber safety as well as reporting mechanism, which is causing a lot of concern. Secondly, there is weak enforcement. The staffs are not adequately trained. The capacity building is very poor, and due to that, law enforcement has declined. So this is actually delaying the investigation and hindering justice. Thirdly, there is privacy breaches. See, things like revenge porn as well as data leaks, they spread faster than usual content. So what happens, the takedown mechanism being very slow, it actually defeats the purpose of cybercrime curtailing mechanism itself. And finally, there is social stigma, that is fear of judgment as well as tendency of victim blaming. This is discouraging the reporting of cybercrimes across India. So these are all very important challenges that when it comes to cybercrimes. Now moving on, talking about what can be done, we have to bring a lot of gender sensitive legal reforms, and we have to bring in fast track cyber courts. Secondly, we have to bring digital literacy. Cyber safety education should be given to the students in schools as well as community as well as through community programs. Thirdly, we have to bring in tech accountability. For example, we can speed up the process of complaining to that particular application or technology through which the content from the relevant platform is actually disappeared. So those kinds of things can be done. And finally, we have to bring in victim support as well as a lot of cultural changes by giving awareness about the rights people hold, as well as what are all the remedial measures that are available in the legal side. So far we saw about what is cybercrime, what are all the challenges when it comes to cybercrime, and then we saw certain important cases and what can be done. So based on that, I have framed a mains question for you. Let me read out the question. What are the different elements of cyber security? Keeping in view the challenges in cybersecurity, examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a comprehensive national cyber security strategy. So it is actually a 2022 UPSC question. You can write an answer and post it in the comment section so that we can review your answer as well as your peers can review it. So with this, we came to the end of the news article discussion. If you like the video, hit like, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Now, thank you so much for listening.